What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a game analysis video for you guys. It's our match against San Diego Albion. All right, guys, for this match, I am playing left back in a 4-3-3. We are going from right to left. I played only the first half, so it'll be a little bit of a shorter game analysis video for you guys today, but some really interesting ideas I want to share with you and hopefully get a sense of what the themes of these games are, and especially in this game was execution was okay to not so great. Ideas, really fantastic. So we'll get into it. Here we go. I'm going to press play. And we are kicking off from right to left. They are in blue, we are in black. And we're getting the game started. Long ball over to the other side. And then I'm just tucking in into that half space. All right, so first play of the game, my first touch. So ball gets played into our center forward, who plays it back to me. And as soon as I play this ball, and I'm gonna pause. Okay, so right here is where the idea was really good, and I was trying to split that midfielder line. If you can see the three midfielders here, the winger is covering me or trying to show me outside, and then Michael, who's in the bottom left-hand corner wearing 77, he's being marked by the right back. And if I can break that line into either our winger, who's checking towards, or the center forward, who's kind of right next to him, number 9, either of those two players, that was the ball that I was trying to make. I really wanted to hit it right into his feet so he could turn and go drive at the back 3 at that point because the right back was so high up. So that's a good idea, good ball, just poor execution and good, well read by that defensive midfielder. So we'll play. And then it's just about pressing, getting back, making them play long, and then we can, that was just getting, as you can see, ball behind, center back does a really great job of recovering, and then just making sure that I'm covering for that cross coming in. Next play, ball comes over, big touch forward, and then just drop off and cover my space. That touch could have been a little bit more gentle, but that's okay. Okay, ball comes into the winger, Michael presses, and then this is just me getting a touch forward and then win a foul on our center mid. So I'm gonna pause the ball, there you go. Okay, so on this type of play and the short section before this one, as you notice, I'm really getting forward defensively and reading the play well. So the first little touch you saw was a little bit too heavy. I had a bunch of space in front of me, so I probably could have taken that touch down, but I think in the moment it was one of those things like, okay, just make sure it doesn't get to the winger, because their wingers on San Diego were really quick. Their wingers and center forwards, all 3 of them, were really quick. So just making sure that they don't even get a touch on the ball is really, really important. So in this scenario right here, where you're seeing our center mid standing up again after getting fouled, fizz it into him as a defensive play. How can you combine making a defensive play, but that defensive play ends up in our possession, as opposed to just making a defensive play and pissing the ball away, right? So it's just thinking to the next level. What can I do to make myself, what can I do to make myself a better defender? Okay, defend the ball in a way that will give it to my own teammates. All right, so we'll play. And we'll just let it run out. As you can see, wearing my Battle Pack F50 remakes. So sick. I love those boots. All right. So this ball is going to go into the corner, which I was looking for that center forward run, but I think I just mistimed that ball. Good placement, but all right, little throw in, and then our center mid turns out of it and lose the ball, unfortunately, but that's all right. All right, ball comes over the top. And this is just winning that defensive header, knocking it down to Michael, who, and then again, following that, so we win it, and we move forward. Next play, ball comes out to the right back. I'm pressing this time. I probably could have been closer to that one. Next play, I'm getting the ball here and driving forward, and I'm gonna pause. Okay, so this play, I bet you can recognize where this ball needs to go, which is into the center forward, or look how open Michael is right now. And this was a play that that triangle since I'm already breaking the midfield line, the midfielder is the one who's chasing me on my right-hand side. If I can just play a gentle ball into my center forward, or curl the ball around to where the midfielders are running onto, and when I play the the film again, you'll see where my midfielder was running onto the ball. I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, man, if I hit him, he could slip it through to Michael, and then we're on goal, basically a 4v4 or a 4v3 even. So fantastic idea again, good driving forward, but the execution needed to be better on this one, and I think we could have gotten a really good opportunity out of it, or just read where the right back is and play it in behind to where Michael is, because Michael's very clearly onside here in a fantastic position, and he was telling me as well, and that this is on me, is like he's open and he's often in fantastic situations and positioning, and so is our center forward, to be fair here. He's checking in, Michael's checking away, to really make sure that next time this sort of scenario happens, my execution is perfect. And then it's up to the rest of my teammates to make that same play and do their jobs as well. All right, so we'll play, see where that ball goes, onto the on-running midfielder. Yeah, bummer, super annoying. Okay, little pressure on the winger, just making sure he only goes backwards. So that's good defensive play, recovering. Checking my shoulder. Now we're in a 1v1 situation. This is a really good 1v1 defensive play. I know he's right-footed, so I know he's going to try to cut back on his right foot. And then I just fizz the ball into our center forward, who gets a foul there. So very good defensive play there, 1v1s. Okay, make sure that, ooh, Michael almost got it, and then he skies the shot over. So again, just making sure I'm positionally in the right place. There's another win, little tap out to center forward, who hits it over to Michael. And unfortunately, we lose the ball there, but I'm going to pause. So those types of plays, as you've seen, it's happened like 3 or 4 times. This time, I mentally in the game was telling myself what I've just told you guys about 2 minutes ago, which was, hey, when you win a defensive play and you are going forward with the ball, see if you can distribute it. And even if it's bouncing, our center forward does a fantastic job of controlling the ball and hitting it to Michael, who was running in behind. And it was just unlucky that it didn't get to him. But the point is that the execution is getting better and better and better. And that's what we want to see, right? That's what I want to see for my own game. And that's what I know my teammates want to see from themselves as well. All right, so we will play. Okay, so a little pressure, just following my man, checking my shoulder there, as you could see there. And then here we go, making sure that I'm covering him. He took a really good first touch, and he's super quick. So just covering, making sure he doesn't go inside. Here we go. So I'm dropping off, center back head stepped, and this is just, I need to get closer to that guy because that's a really dangerous cross if that goes in. Just making sure that that's a thing. Okay, so free kick from quite a ways away. This is almost at half field. You can see me having one of our players stay wide. That's really important in a free kick as well. That needs to be a little bit higher for sure. So free kick was okay. Decent area, but just not good enough. This is a good corner kick, I think. We just don't train, or hadn't trained as of this game, a near post corner run. I was supposed to hit it to a different spot. It's a great corner kick, but because of the way that we didn't train it, and I've signaled for a different area, it goes a great near post curling one. You could get a head on it, but since we didn't train it, that's 100% on me. My service needs to be better. So ball comes out to me, driving forward, beating that center midfielder for pace, and then playing. So I'm going to pause there. Okay, so this is another example of where, and you can see me kind of doing this, like, oh no, like, so Michael did a great job of staying wide. As soon as that right back, you can't see it on the film, but as soon as that right back checks his shoulder to see where Michael is, looks back at me, Michael comes in behind him, and that's where, see, his movement was inside. So I was trying to play right on his stride so that he could take a touch inside while our center forward was running outside, right? So I hope that makes sense. So I'm driving up the line, and I'm just pissed because I'm like, my ball was overhit, that's my fault. Michael was in a great position, and so was our center forward as well. And so that's where, again, execution, idea's fantastic. We're breaking a bunch of lines. I've just basically dribbled past half their team on a run straight up the line, play it inside on a different vertical angle. So if that makes sense. So a vertical is basically, I don't want to be on the same vertical line as my winger. I want to be like this. So if the winger's wide, I'm a little bit tucked in. If I'm wide, the winger's inverted as well. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we'll play. And I'm just like, oh man. And Michael's like, Gosh dang it, dude. Throw in to the feet of our center forward, who does a fantastic job, little skill. Little B-roll of me just wearing tape on my back because we didn't have a jersey, but that's all right. Throw in to the center forward, does a great job getting in, and this is just fantastic job by our center back, absolute beast. All right, ball comes in, little header, settle down, and then Michael, fantastic first touch to get around this guy. All right, next play. There, I control it and just miscontrol the ball. So again, great defensive play, making sure he doesn't get that ball. All right, and good defensive pressure. He tries to turn out of it, loses the ball again. So that's, again, just a constant defensive pressure, especially on players who are super fast. Really, really, really important. And here we go again. Good defensive touch. Michael wins it, center forward. I think got a foul there as well. Ball comes out to me from the center forward, and this ball right into where our 10 was running onto. But again, it's a personnel thing. So he's okay, so ball comes in middle, pause. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a couple things first. So knowing personnel is really important. Our number 10, fantastic on the ball, but straight up, he's just not the fastest person on the field. So what does that mean? Play the ball to his feet, right? It's no knock on him. It's just like, what are his strengths? Okay, deal with it. Play to his feet, especially when you guys are trialing at clubs. And I know this is actually going to be an interesting topic to talk about, because when you're trialing at clubs, you're new, you don't know a team yet. The important thing that the best types of teammates are the people who get to know what the personnel's talent is. So if because soccer is a team sport, football is a team sport, there's 10 other guys, including the goalkeeper, who are on the pitch. I need to know what their strengths and weaknesses are so that I can basically adapt to each person. So we have a winger who's on the field right now who's one of the fastest players in the league. Where do you think I'm going to play the ball? Over the top to him, or through, in behind, right? Because he has that skill. For the 10 that I just tried to hit around because he was on a one-on-one with the center back, number one, he's shorter than I am. Okay, so what does that mean? Play his feet. He's also not as rapid as the winger that we have. Okay, play his feet. And then he does his magic in the midfield and is able to distribute it to some other player in a way that's beneficial for him. So I encourage you, especially when you're at trials, obviously this is super relevant if you're getting into a new team, knowing who your personnel is, playing to the strengths of those players. Excuse me. But a really important thing is to make sure that when you're in trial, how quickly can you get a gauge of who does what really well and play to that strength, so that what you're doing in the trial is making the best impression, because you're making your teammates look good by playing to their strengths. So that's an interesting idea here. Okay, so in the play now, we'll go back to the screen. So this play is great because this is, you'll notice in just a sec, Michael's really wide. So I've tucked in as an inverted, almost like an inverted fullback or a 6. You see Man City doing this a lot. This is a movement pattern that I really enjoy because I like having the ball at my feet. And so our center back has played me almost vertically straight forward, and I'm just turning and playing out of that. So as a fullback, just make sure that if it's on, rotate inside if you've got cover on the outside. So that way it's really difficult for that winger. The winger then has to choose, do I follow the guy going inside and then that ball gets played behind me to Michael, or is that winger being lazy and staying outside, and then we can break the line to me on the inside, right? All right, so we'll play. So just driving forward and then playing Michael here. Michael plays a good ball over the top, and and then win the ball back, hopefully. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, little pressure on their right back. Just making sure, this is just a defensive touch. I was just trying to get it away from that winger that was coming on. And then all right, last play for the half for me. Beat the winger for pace, play the ball in, and I'm gonna pause. Okay, so this is exactly like that first pass that I made, and I was pissed that I missed this one as well. Idea was good, execution was off. I probably could have dribbled a little bit more and given myself a little bit more space. And a rule of thumb, especially for driving into positions. And again, for me, this is a learning opportunity, because I can see out of the couple touches that I made, I've got some really good ideas, but it's just making sure that the execution stays on point, because that's what gets you contracts, that's what gets you playing time, that's what gets you all the other stuff. In this position, you've got Michael, who's behind the right back. He's in a great position to break that line, and the center mid has shifted over, and he now has the ball, and the other center mid was not coming back either. So, and he's in the right corner of the screen, so I'll point him out as well. If I'm dribbling forward and if I can beat that guy, cut in front of him so he can't get the ball from the side, he can't pressure me from the side, what that does is that forces either the right back or the center mid to step to me, in which case either if he's going forward and I'm going behind him, I can just either highway him, knock the ball around him and run, or that frees up one of the other guys that they're marking. And then as soon as he steps, I play the ball into the open space behind him, and then we go from there, right? So simple things, but the execution is really, really important. And that's something that I'm learning. You guys will see in the next game analysis video why that does wonders for possession and ideas moving forward. So the game against Los Angeles Force that I'll be releasing a couple weeks after this one, you guys will see that, excuse me, the LA Force game happened 2 days later than this, and I played the full 90 and just rocked it. So that's something to think about as well. In my mind, I was like, execution, execution, execution. How do you make every single pass count? All right, so we'll play. All right, so this is just a little bit of spell of possession, and then we'll get a little bit more. There you go. And then putting my body in front of it, defensive play, and getting the ball to Michael. He does a good job playing forward after that. So again, that is the first half. He actually blew the whistle right after that. So that is the first half of the game. Those are my touches. I played just that first 45. And yeah, it was a cool trip, really fun trip. Enjoyed hanging out with the guys. And if you guys have any questions about any other positions on the field, I would say close to an expert at playing outside back, but for other positions, I have a pretty good idea of what those are as well. So if in any of the touches and any of the plays you have questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed that game analysis video. If you guys want these to continue, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.